Welcome everybody to my new episode on hard negotiation series. In this episode, I'm going to teach you how do you deal with deadlines. Well, in every negotiations, the seller will try to use this tactic. My proposal is valid only for 3 days. I can only give you discount if you can give me the purchase order tomorrow. It is very frequent and often I see the buyers are coming into this pressure tactic. A great negotiator never gives in to the deadlines. Rather, he or she will use this time pressure tactic as an opportunity, one, to demonstrate the understanding, establish a closer relationship with the supplier, and gain more tactical information. And in this episode, this is exactly what I'm going to teach you. The first step is you need to understand whether the deadline that is being posted by your supplier is a genuine deadline or a fake one. And the principle I use is principle of specificity. You see, all the fake deadlines will be very vague. They will lack any sort of specificity. Let me take you to the situation room and show you an example. Imagine I'm your supplier and I'm saying I can give you 10% discount, but my offer will expire in 3 days. What will you do? Well, there are two ways in you could have reacted. If you dismissed my threat, I want to know how did you determine whether it's a genuine one or a fake one. If your answer is I don't care, you're wrong. On the other side, if you agreed and pushed and signed the deal, again, you lost because you came into this time pressure tactic. So what do you think of that statement? Well, according to me, it's a fake threat. And again, I'm using the principle of specificity. In the sentence, the supplier has not given me any detail. It lacks specificity. First, the supplier doesn't tell me what will happen if I don't agree to this deadline. The supplier hasn't told me whether the price will be increased and there will be a new offer. Supplier hasn't told me that they will take their offer back and will not participate with me on this deal again. So this is clearly a tactic, a time pressure tactic to create a momentum and turn the deal in their favor. So let's say you are a buyer and a supplier has approached you with a deadline and you want to deactivate this deadline. How would you go about it? The first step is engage in a meaningful conversation. The second step would be demonstrate your understanding. I hope you remember how do you demonstrate your understanding? Well, by use of labels. In this situation, you can use labels such as sounds like things are really important for you. Sounds like you think the process is not moving as per your pace. Sounds like you don't want us to waste your time. So these are really good examples of labels that you can use in this situation. The second step is test them a little bit. Test the specificity. Ask 3 questions. First one, what will happen if I miss the deadline? Second, ask them what will happen if we get into an agreement after the deadline. Third, what impact will this have on the implementation? Are you in the deal after the deadline expires or you are not going to work with us? So these are the questions by which I analyze that the deal is a fake one or a real one. I hope this lesson was useful for you. My name is Gaurav and I'm loving this series on hard negotiations. I'll see you in the next one. Welcome everybody to my new episode on hard negotiation series. In this episode, I'm going to teach you how people think about losses. Let me ask you a question first. How do you feel about losses? It takes us a while to get over the losses. We keep on thinking about them and they hurt really bad. That's exactly what Nobel Prize winning laureates Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky talked about in their work, Prospect Theory. What they told is a loss stings twice as much than its equivalent gain. Example, if I lost $100, it'll feel like I have lost 200. What it does, it installs a behavior in our decision making. And that's exactly what we are going to talk about today. People are designed to take decisions to avoid loss more than to take and evaluate a gain. More interestingly, they will take far more greater risks to avoid a potential loss than, let's say, to attain a gain. You have seen this behavior not only during the negotiation but in our daily life. That's exactly the reason why some of us would not ask stupid questions in the meeting, because we fear how other people will look at us, because we fear the risk of reputation. That's exactly the reason why some of people would even lie to cover some of the mistakes. And this is what we are going to talk about, how we can use this as a leverage, not only in any negotiation, but even in your day-to-day. You see, there are two ways in which you can put a proposal forward. The first way is a gain pitch. You have seen this absolutely n number of times. That's exactly 99% of the salespeople will do. You will gain 20% discount. You will get 10 million in cost savings. You will get 20% higher productivity. Gain, gain, gain. In the back of your mind, you're thinking, what is going to cost me? What I'm proposing here is the loss aversion technique, what we discussed earlier. Instead of telling them 20% gain, try to change the pitch and say, if you maintain your status quo, you stand to lose $2 million. You can absolutely maintain your status quo, but you will be paying $10 million in the next 1 year by not doing this project, by not moving forward. It's a minor difference, but when you practice it, it becomes really powerful. Let me now take you to the situation room and I'll ask you for a response. So my request to you is watch out for this technique if you are on the receiving side. It's very likely that you will be pitched from the fear of losing, fear of missing out. That's exactly what the loss aversion technique is all about. When you have to pitch something, use this technique for your advantage. Not only this, but you have to develop empathy. You have to develop a relationship before you actually put this forward. You put trust building process and then you add the loss aversion technique to close it off. Now you know about the loss aversion technique, but how will you use it in your day-to-day? Well, two ways. If you're on receiving side, if someone is pitching this proposal to you, watch out for this technique and do not fall prey to this tactic. Do not fall prey to the fear of missing out. However, if you are on the other side and you're putting a proposal for your boss or to your senior manager, use this technique to get things done. There's one important aspect which I want you to remember. If you're using this technique of loss aversion, don't start with loss aversion as your first step. You have to develop trust and empathy first and then add the loss aversion. I hope you know how to build trust in a negotiation process. Watch out for my videos on mirroring and labeling and some couple of other videos. Once you have developed a trust in the process, then use your loss aversion technique to put your proposal forward. My name is Gaurav and I'm loving this series on hard negotiations. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, bye.